for now.
Right, we're going to talk about the implications of copyright, and from a copyright perspective, whether it's better as a musician, you go in and sign the contract with a major record label, or whether it's better to be a self-published musician. So, I'm going to talk about the positive aspects of major record labels in terms of copyright. Basically, copyright protection expires at 70 years, and then if it's made public, if it's been made public, then it only lasts for 50 years. In exchange for releasing sound recordings to the public, copyright holders are granted permission during which they can pursue anyone who uses their recording without permission. Without copyright protection, it would be easy for others to exploit the pieces of work, and then they won't get any royalties from it. And by doing this, way, their work is protected. Copyright also gives moral rights to be identified as you being the creator of your work, and different kinds of material known as paternity rights. If something is copyrighted, then it's illegal, as I said, to be exploited without paying the owner. And the main benefit for any musician copyrighting their work is that no one else can copy it. Publishing companies are responsible for ensuring that songwriters and composers receive payment when their compositions are used commercially, and then through an agreement called a publishing contract, a songwriter or composer assigns the copyright of their composition to the publishing company, and then in return the company licenses their compositions and helps monitors and regulates where the compositions are being used, so they're able to collect the royalties, and then distributes the money over to the original owners of a piece of work. They also secure commissions for music and promote existing compositions to the recording artists, and then the copyrights are owned and administrated by the companies again, which are considered by them to be an important form of intellectual property in the music industry. The only other copyright which is important to them as well is the master recording, which is normally kept hold by the record company. Negative aspects?
Okay, it's kind of two aspects. So it could be really, you can be like independent artist, which can put music on YouTube and have like your followers, but with exception, a few famous artists make money from their loyalty payments. Most of the successful artists continue to make living from live performances. Recent studies which published in Financial Times suggested that the most artists make more income from touring than from royalties. So in that case, we can say that is why a few artists to come out publicly against digital copyright. Because if somebody copyrights his music, he can have more followers, and when he is touring, he will have more people to come to his concert. But there is a downturns as well. For example, if derivative work is a Christmas carol called What Child Is This?, written by William Dix in 1865. It is derivative work from Greenleaf's. Some historians think that this song been written by Henry VIII, the king. So if Henry the king would live in our nowadays, and Dix will take his copy, he would pay lots of money for him. Because if I am a songwriter, I usually go to companies, and they have to, like, by the law, they will give me a composer license. There is a fair use as well, where I can't get any money, which is jukebox, if my song will be used in educational reasons, and if someone's song will be derivative work, but will use as a parody, because a parody is socially valuable. For that example, we can say Roy Orbison written music, or Pretty Woman, and Campbell, it's one of the group's members. he changed the song, altered version, and he put the different words. But he won the case because the law says that he used his song, the words, as a parody. So our society needs a parody. If I am a songwriter or performer, I go to the company, record company, but well, I won't earn a lot because 20% of the sales will get to the famous artists. If you are a new artist, you will get like 9%. Then 3% was to produce 25 costs over packaging and packaging, and then 15% for free goods, which is copies which use for promotional reasons. So maybe I won't go to the record company and do these things myself. But by the law, it's very complicated because I have to talk to radio station, I can have to talk to the YouTube, and it's all just complicated. So it is the downturns, and I don't know. You can't say it's good and bad, so. But it's more secure when you have, like, company. Thank you.
Well, the positive aspects of being self-published musician, this sort of argument is going on the basis that you do everything yourself, you don't have a publishing deal or a record deal. And sort of any disadvantage you can think of to being signed to a major label with regards to copyright is essentially the positives of being a self-published artist in the same terms. Obviously, a lot more control. You have a lot more control over your material. This refers to the rights as well as the recordings. If you recorded when you get a record deal and a publishing deal, you sign your rights over to the publishers, and they can do with it what they want. They can send it out to radio stations or send it out to be advertised. And also, you record with the record label, and when you make the recording, although you own the content and the rights to it, they own the recording itself. And obviously, doing this by yourself, you own everything. If you record, let's presume you pull in so many favours and you don't like pay other people to do it, you own everything. Which, although is difficult in order to gain sort of a higher level of recognition for music in your career, there is a potential for greater earnings. I would say potential because obviously labels have a greater ability to market and advertise your product, and they can reach a wider range of audiences and a bigger audience as well. But obviously, as you won't have a label taking a cut from what you create, you will be getting 100% of the earnings, as I say, on the basis that you do everything yourself. Obviously, it's more difficult to make it, but if you do, you'll get high amounts of money. And obviously, it's difficult to find an example of that, and but I found one a few months ago, an artist called Tiffany Alvord, who operates purely on YouTube and through iTunes selling her music. But it's an example. She does everything herself. She advertises herself. She sends her stuff to radio, and but she's done it quite successfully. On her channel, she has 330 million views and 1.6 million subscribers, and she has released 5 albums, including 3 cover albums, which she's been the one who's gone to the labels to get the permission to release these covers of the songs. And it's not just on YouTube, she's a performing artist as well, so she goes on tours, which she organises herself. And last year she performed, I think it was for the New Year ball drop in Times Square. She performed with Carly Rae Jepsen, Train, Psy and Taylor Swift. So that's an example of a self-published artist who has successfully achieved the goal. Like, she's a big supporter of indie music and doing everything yourself. But obviously I was looking through other research and I came across Simon Fripp, who edited a book together, including Wallace, I've forgotten his first name, but he says the composer is at the bottom of the music industry food chain. But the advantage I'm trying to point out of this is that if you are a self-producing artist, then you are the only link in the chain and you will get all the benefits from it.
I'll be talking about the cons of self-published music. And the first one, I'm talking about the illegal downloading and legal promotion. As an artist, you have to use some sort of social / music network to kind of get your name out there. But for you to do that, you've got to actually put files online for people to hear. Now, once you've done that, you kind of put yourself open for people to rip your files off the internet. So, then you put into peer-to-peer sharing sites and something like that. So there's less actual profit being made from the music, and as a self-published musician, it's a bit more difficult to make profit when your songs are being stolen, if you've got a small fan base. There's a quote here talking about how artists actually get a small percentage of the plays from Spotify, but major record labels do their own rates compared to independent artists. So major record label could do, let's just say, 50p per play, and then an independent artist would still only get a penny, so they automatically make more than self-distributed artists. The next part is just called using ownership. If you don't copyright your songs and don't have a tangible copy of the music, then you risk having your music being stolen. Tangible copies meaning a CD of the music, scores of the music, or maybe an original project file of the music. You kind of leave yourself open to have your music stolen again through social networking sites and things like that. On top of that, there's been cases of major record labels stealing songs from artists. So it's either they'll pay for something that's already been put out by an artist and then either duplicate it by remaking it and then selling it themselves, or potentially taking a song and claiming it and selling the song. There's an example here of the frontman from a UK band called Orange Juice. He tried to put a song into MySpace, but then a major record label took it down through copyright laws because they obtained it behind his back basically, and obviously you can't actually do that. So he tried to get his money back, but I don't think he got his money from it. And there's a quote here saying that they feel like labels steal a lot more music than file sharing sites, and file sharing is the UK's third biggest music market, which means that essentially if major labels are doing it, then it's going to take a lot of the music profits away. The last part would be the financial balance. Obviously, major record labels sometimes put out music with samples included in the songs. They'll put the songs out even if they're not claiming them as sold records. The reason why they probably do this is because they know that the people that they stole their music from don't have the financial backing to pursue a lawsuit against them, so they can actually kind of just put out songs. I've got an example of a band called Mars that put out some funk of the Williams that multiple different samples, but in the different song releases in different countries, there's alternate versions. Some samples will be songs in Australia, but some of them samples won't be in a song in the UK, for example. A self-distributed artist couldn't do that. As soon as they put a song out, it would just be completely taken off by either an independent record label or major record label. They just take the song down completely and then do the making profit, and then you basically can get sued for quite a bit of money, which could ruin your music career.
Okay, well done.
Yeah, done.
Lovely. Oh, that's nice.